as if they have Antigua to heart. They just, you know, well, I don't know, man. They don't love this country. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
They don't love this country because nobody that loves their country administrate the way they are doing. And it's not nice at all, Vere. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, Neddy. I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, it's a big concern for us in Antigua and Barbuda.
Seriously, sir.
And you raise these questions on the radio. Everybody gets heated.
Yeah,
The authorities do nothing. You get frustrated, you have to take a pressure pill. And then you go out and what? You vote for them again?
Yeah. Do the same thing.
Because they remember how great Papa Bird's administration was at some point in time in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah. So you still link it to that even though you know it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that anymore. I think Antigua politics is there's a vacuum of leadership.
Papa Bird rented the Navy base, that piece of land, leased them.
Mm.
And he made sure he tell the people they can't take it with them, but he's
Yeah.
not selling it.
Mm.
You see what happened?
Yeah.
They left, the time up, they left, and they left everything to our defense force. So we actually capitalize because not only now the land we get back, the building we get back, but the equipments that they left there, the Navy base and the defense force was able to use them and still using them and benefiting from them. This is how you do things. So if you're going to link this Labour Party that we have with the previous Papa Bird administration,
Yeah.
it's not a proper linkage at all. It's not saying nothing. This is nothing like that. This is something completely different. One say lease, one say sell. How is it going to be the same? Eh? When you sell, you don't have access anymore, There's not yours anymore.
One of the things I find amazing about this ABLP is that a lot of the comrades in there would like to link themselves with the past glories of Papa Bird, but the principles and the practices of Papa Bird, leasing land to people to come and develop and to employ our people. And then eventually they get old, they die, they hang on, and their children take over, or they sell it to another investor and so on. How many times St. James Club has changed hands?
Yeah.
I remember there was a Peter de
Good
Salve,
example.
I can't remember. I think that was his name, the first owner. I was actually there
with the first one.
when they had the
Okay.
fireworks and the launch of it, and they had this big
yeah.
boat with fireworks and so on. The boat never
Okay.
fire off because it got wet in the water.
Okay, yeah.
I remember
yeah.
Joan Collins and so was there and so
Uh-huh.
on, man. But I thought somebody who put all that effort into it would want to hold on to it for a while.
That's
Man,
right.
in a couple of years' time, he done sell out
Get
and
rid of
he
that
had other
something
investments and so
Okay,
on for
then
wind down and
somebody
so on.
else own that.
Somebody is there and somebody is take over.
And this is what's
But
happening.
I find it so amazing that this Labour Party is so willing to give an acre of land, 5 acres land to the Chinese. Period.
Yeah.
2
Just like
acres
that.
of land to Venezuela.
Just like that.
You understand?
Yes.
I don't understand how that
It's
is.
not the people's stuff.
I don't understand how that is considered to be a wise principle or policy to adopt. I am opposed to it, but you live in Antigua with a lot of people who really couldn't care less about Antigua and
That's what
Barbuda.
it is. You don't have
And that
anything
is
to
that is
hide.
the problem that we
They don't
that is
love
the
this
problem that
country.
we are having right now. A lot of people don't give a damn about Antigua
They
and
don't care
Barbuda.
about the country.
All they
That's
care
what
about is getting some easy job. And let us have that segue back into easy job, because I want to mention all the stuff about the Africans coming from Africa. We have an ambassador to the African Union, Johan Hesse. Where is Johan Hesse on these Africans?
Who is anybody? Nobody
Has
sent nothing in authority.
anybody made any contact to Cameroon?
No.
State to state, your ambassador, you have an ambassador. This man is getting paid a salary to represent us in the African Union, all the Africa.
A hefty salary.
And Mr. Hesse, people are claiming that they were bamboozled, scammed, told that they could get to South America. You have nothing to say. These people from Africa, where you're supposed to be representing us, is basically, to me, that if you're a representative of the African Union and all the countries in the African Union, You should be the go-between Antigua
That's
and
right.
Cameroon if they are members of the African Union.
That's his duty.
Have you made any contacts with the government, Johan Hesse? I'm not even talking about gas and anything now. You are paid
the
a salary
ambassador.
from our treasury, and I'm asking you as an elector, as a citizen of Antigua, born Antiguan, have you made any knowing that this brouhaha has happened and all these Africans came in 1,000, supposedly 600 left back, have you made any contacts to Cameroon? Because I have a feeling that they're putting the cart before the horse. We're hearing all these issues about giving them work permits. And the first thing when you hear Melford chat this bullshit on the radio,
You see?
you're wondering,
Melford.
but how are they going to give work permits when people from the region, Jamaica,
Neighboring
Guyana, and Santo
Neighboring
Domingo,
islands.
don't get work permits when they're in Antigua? They
God.
have to get their work permits in the country where they're coming from. Somebody has to say, yes, they have work for them in Antigua and Barbuda, and then they get their work permit.
That's how it's supposed
Then
to
you get
be,
your work
actually.
permit. How is it now that Melvin and you hear, oh, we're going to give them, you're going to allow them to work in Antigua? That's not the way it works. So you see, you breach your own regulations now, and you're in a problem because you're acting, telling people they must have respect for the law, and you're breaching the law. There are times when you even heard about this whole stuff about YIDA. You remember YIDA?
Oh, yes.
All
I
the
can't
economic
forget that.
environment, and
Oh,
you cannot
boy.
invade. You cannot
And how much money
the
they're going to put
environment.
into our-
The environment is going to be you have all these acts, the environmental act and so on. All the mangroves are supposed to be protected,
yeah,
and
and
the
all that.
water line and this, and you can't do this and that. They're going to say, oh, we have jobs, so therefore that trumps any environmental act that we have put in
I'm
place.
telling you.
You drafted the bitter nonsense, but you can't abate.
So that killed all our mangroves.
You
in
know,
that
the
area.
last one I remember is when they had the Mega Man funeral.
Oh,
Huh?
oh, yes.
You
that-
put
that-
into place 2020 all these
Yes.
stipulations. Everybody's supposed to top of their yard.
And the next thing, there's a
And next year,
mega
I
man
remember the Jamaican
You saw it?
pastor. Police come up and they pull out everybody out the church. Oh, COVID is spreading. We can't do this. This and that and tether. And this is the
Not at
breach
the
of
Mega
the
Man funeral.
Mega
No,
Man
they
funeral.
forget
The
funeral.
Prime
They
Minister
forget
right
COVID.
there. Didn't even put on a freaking mask.
They forget COVID. There was
No
nothing
COVID
named
at me. Mega Man don't have
No,
COVID.
Man, nothing named
I
so
find
at
it
his
so
funeral.
dirty. I find it so low by
Yeah.
all the parties
Yeah.
that were involved.
Yeah.
And then I am supposed to have respect for the law. Why don't you just practice what you preach? This set of damn frauds.
No.
And I'm
They
talking
don't
about Gaston Brown and this set
They
of
don't
set
know
of
how to do
bottoms
that.
calling themselves the Antigua-Barbuda Labour Party with the weakest government in Antigua-Barbuda 90. You saw him yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Neddy?
In Parliament? No,
In
I-
Parliament, but I never watch Parliament. I just find it
I don't.
a load of nonsense.
Yeah, I don't.
I just find a bunch of monkeys sitting up there in suits, to be honest with you. But
I
there
don't,
was this,
but-
this part where they had some ballot or something to vote on something or the other. I don't even know what it was.
Wow.
But then when they're going to vote and so on, there must be the UPP contingent and asset vote, I think. And then after that, we see I see that
my
Gaston
God.
get up last. And then he like a little sissy, you know, he blew off a kiss to the UP section. And then and he go around the table and he blew a kiss. But that is the second kiss is the one that I really saw, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Eh?
Because what I saw, and yeah, and Jerry, what, I had no problem with that, blowing kisses to
No,
audience.
no,
No,
you're
Jerry,
right.
I see nothing there. That is
You're
that
right.
is proper parliament protocol.
Yeah, yes, right.
What me see
Yeah.
the second kiss is what me happen. Cause me see a whole pile of man in the UPP here and Asset Michael and them sit down there. And the kiss was not direct. The second kiss was not directed to the audience. He was kissing to the opposition part. All the man in the opposition.
What is
so I
that?
say, Lord. I listen.
What is
UPP,
that?
Asset Michael, y'all got your hands full.
Yeah,
if
really.
I into that sort of stuff, then
And the speaker
y'all
says
might feel
nothing.
comfortable with that. But me say one of the man that pick up and chair and does a wet you in chair one time and just listen to, there's a new sheriff in town. I ain't in that
you know what
nonsense
I'm
with
saying?
you. You hold on by that
But
nonsense.
the speaker should try to. What's that all about, Mr. Prime Minister? Is
Me
that
s-
part of our.
Yeah,
protocol?
what and kiss a blow,
What-
kiss
what
and all
is
that
that all
stuff.
about?
Boy, the
Why-
man looks so.
The speaker. What does the speaker actually do? Because
I don't know. I really
You
don't know
know-
what the speaker do, but there has to be some sort of decorum. After that,
Must.
me kiss a blow and all this. And he walk like a real fish, you know. I said, oh, that's what me show me. If you want to go see me, go watch on gay porn.
Yeah,
If you want to see, if I want to see a man get all like that, me go watch some gay porn.
Heaven,
I don't want to see no
God,
Parliament
it is-
Antigua and
I'm telling
Barbuda.
you.
You know? So,
Yeah. It's not.
Boy,
The situation is nice at all. Believe me.
boy,
It's, so
that
because
is less than nice.
yeah, way far from being nice.
That is less than nice.
See,
It's a sad situation, but
extremely.
that is what the people wanted. They're a bit short on the opposition side, but you know what I said, Nedwell? We didn't get in on this act, this last election,
No, we did.
due to unseen circumstances.
That's
This is
right.
one of the things we wanted in place, our podcast. We have to have our own media before we go out there.
Yes.
And we have to have our own media before we go out there and talk to people, and then we have to be able to get to them on a weekly, on a daily, on an hourly means through our
That's true.
podcast. We're not going to rely on no mainstream
Radio,
media.
that's
We're
right.
doing
No,
it
no.
ourselves.
Radio station.
Papa Bird may have, Lester Bird may have, but God bless the grandson
Who has it?
and the nephew who has his own. This is
Simple
my
as that.
media, and this is the way we're going to let it out and get our message to the
Oh,
masses.
you mean?
You know, let's say we are a little scattershot all over the place right now, but we have to get set up and actually learn to use
Yeah.
our equipment.
Yeah. It's,
One of the things I wanted to get back to the Africans is that I find it so strange the way it's so blase concerning these Africans that have come into Antigua and Barbuda. And people are saying it's human trafficking. The government says, oh, I don't know if any laws have been broken. You don't know any laws broken. You have never asked it to be investigated. And more so the police. And I'm so the head of the police. What your name again? Hamilton? I say,
Yeah,
it's
Ham-
Hamilton name? We name.
I'm not even too sure.
We name. You can't remember. Anyway, name them. You can't remember his name. Where we name be? The one that just danced to Jerusalem up and down. When the height of COVID, he pranced on a couple of them policemen and them now observing the protocol. Prance on set of bottles.
COVID exists.
Yeah,
When you feel like
The
convenient.
thing I have with this guy here, Lord, I remember his name. Rodney.
Rodney.
Sorry about that, Rodney.
Sorry about that. You don't
I
deserve
remember,
to
no, I had a
remember it.
case about 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember it. You know what? How I remember it is when Mike was going to Heritage House. I remember that I had to pick him up. So I know Mike was about 2 years old. He's 6
Right,
now, so
in
it's
that
about
case.
4 years, give or take, a
Okay.
couple months. 4 years ago, I had a police disciplinary matter. You know, it's basically like it's like a police court martial. You know, it's not it's not the military, but it's like the police are disciplining their own member. I'm not going to call the officer's name, but I represented the officer. And back then, there was this whole outcry about human trafficking in Antigua and Barbuda. Human trafficking, you had it in the papers. The police was so concerned. There's so many people in the prostitution and all this sort of stuff that were coming into the island, and you know, the international bodies and the NGOs were concerned about this human trafficking.
Wow.
So, what happened here now is that, let's give me a second here. I have a little bit of a dry throat here, a little cough, getting
I
over this
think I can
flu.
take one
Oh,
as
this
well.
You think you can take one?
Yeah. It's
All right, I got you. Got you covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I had a concern with is that. Wait. Hey, I think we're getting a call here. Hold on there, buddy. We get to you soon. We get to you soon, man. We get to you after we finish finish this the segue here. You know, one of the main things I remember the police were saying is that there's so much human trafficking and we have to get rid of that in Antigua and Barbuda, and the NGOs are complaining.
Oh.
Went to the police station, went to the police headquarters with the officer, my client. Police march him in the room now. One officer in front, one officer behind, and they march him into the room
Yes,
and
sir.
so on and so forth. And, you know, this is serious business.
How you mean?
Sit down and salute and take a seat and hear the charges that are going to be read out to you.
Uh-huh.
You know, and for the most part, they had a situation where they said that he was working at Wendy's.
Oh.
The police commissioner at the time, Wendell Robinson, had a police circular. Well, I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Warned them not to be employed at these nightclubs.
Okay.
Anyway, the evidence that they had against my client was that 3 working girls from Jamaica, prostitutes, said they saw him working at the nightclub.
Oh.
The situation is that the police notice said you are not to be employed at the
right.
nightclub.
That's moonlighting.
You
It's
know?
not allowed at the nightclub.
No moonlighted.
Uh-huh.
Situation being is that
Boy,
I found it so strange because they took the statements that the three girls
gave.
made. They did not give it in person that they could cross-examine them. Their evidence was still put in. The court, the tribunal still said
accept the evidence.
Accept the evidence.
They couldn't be cross-examined.
so. They're not even in Antigua. They already gone back. I said, how are you going to accept evidence from people that I can't cross-examine? Anyway, they said they want to hear the evidence. I put up said, no, this should not be accepted into evidence.
It, of course.
Yeah, under some evidence act and electronic information, it's allowed. So I'm against it. I am protesting. That is what the appeal if it comes to it. Anyway, go on and say one of them, the younger one said she come to Antigua and they told her she come to dance and she's so excited and coming here now and take where she passed or get she a room, start to prostitute herself, crying no hell, this is not what she came here for. Feel bad for the girl now because they showed the CD, they give me a CD and all and this thing, and then the girl said that she saw my officer client.
Okay.
But one of the things that was going on was that she was saying she came in here, they took away her passport, she could not get out to the public or go police station. Have her on the beach, as I explained before.
Right.
They have her on the beach and they
Once a week.
once a week to say that they're not falsely imprisoning her. Then she asked some people, hey, you can help me to get a call to Jamaica? And people say, yeah, you're going to get a call to Jamaica. Say, oh, you're going to have to give me a little bit of that stuff. So she have to give in and relent. And you see how they manipulate and use people.
That's right.
I think 2 or 3 times the people she saw helping her forced their way on her because in her situation. Anyway, they use that evidence from this one. Another one says she ain't hairstylist, and 3 of them said they see my client working at the nightclub. You remember you had a statement, Neddy, you taught me that in the 2014 election. It's from Malcolm X, where he says black people tend to use words loosely.
Yes,
That is what I use in this case. Neddy, in the case, here are the evidence and so on. I asked the tribunal to read what the Commissioner of Police, Wendell Robin, had written in his directive to the
Okay.
There's a difference between the word employment and work. You can work without being employed.
That's right.
By the time you're getting paid, you're employed.
That's right.
Not one of these ladies said they saw him getting paid.
That's
Or that they saw a bankroll or payment slip
no kind of
or
money,
payroll
money
that he was
transaction
receiving money
from
for
that's
his
right.
working.
That's right.
I said, I actually researched it now when you told me about it. I think there was it was a message to the grassroots was a speech that Malcolm X
That's
gave,
right, yep.
where he said black people tend to use words loosely.
Straight.
And so said, so done.
Yep.
The officer got off of the
That-
3 charges. I
that
don't remember
got him off the hook,
Yeah,
didn't
that
it?
got him off the hook. But the situation is that the sad reality is that they went down hard on this officer man. Boy, human trafficking. Oh, we can't have that in Antigua and Barbuda. That
That's
can't be the norm. We will never have this. This is not going to happen.
Hey, that's something.
You know?
Yeah.
And look and behold.
What's going on now?
What's happening now? Where's the police commissioner?
Huh?
Where's all the top brass of the police force? These people came in here and they were not supposed to be given visa on arrivals. That is the law. And if they said that they were supposed to be paid, they paid money to reach to other jurisdictions. And they didn't get there. Then are the human traffickers not only in Africa? Are they here? Has there been any investigation
Who are
done?
they?
The government is not concerned, needless to say, the commissioner of police. But boy, they went after my client, boy.
Big
Human
time.
trafficking.
That's right.
It's just like, to
They
me,
wanted to throw the book at that guy.
boy, they threw more in the book at him. Boy. They must have thrown a couple of them. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Hypocritical at its best. No?
The reality
because
of the
then
whole
you're-
situation
You're
is just,
persecuting somebody for something when you're doing basically the same or worse.
yeah,
You understand? It's hypocritical.
very, very much so.
It's
Very
hypocritical.
much so. Nelly, let's move on to another topic. I don't
Yeah.
want to go over that same.
Yeah,
we dealt with it last week,
Tedious.
and I'd like to see where we're going now with What your take on that last election on the 18th of January?
Yeah, it goes to show you what migration can do to a country,
Mhm.
excessive migration. I believe the decision, what actually happened in the last election, um, it was decided by persons who migrated to this country.
Mhm. Foreigners.
Foreigners. So I don't even, yeah.
I just call them what they are. I'm a foreigner when I go abroad. I don't see.
Okay, foreigners.
I don't see any. It's only Antigua is the only country probably in the world where to call somebody a foreigner
Yeah,
is
and
it's an insult.
Yeah, it's offended.
You offend people by calling them foreigners. But when I go abroad and people call me foreigner, I don't give a damn. I am in a country,
That's
and
right.
this is not
Anyway,
where I'm
right,
from. I am a
that's
foreigner.
That's right.
I've lived in New York since I was
I had a-
11 years old. If somebody said me I'm a foreigner, I'd foreigner
Okay.
damn well be.
I have a voter's registration card from the time I went to America.
Mm.
And I have never voted once where in
Mhm.
America because, it's not for me,
Mm.
as I see it. I just came here to get a better living, and that was about not to influence your election or anything. I never voted.
Yeah.
So, when these foreigners, and you can tell from the boxes too, the area from the boxes, where the boxes came from,
Yeah.
and it's predominantly foreigners who put most of those ALP people over the top. Yeah. So it seems as if the scheme has worked out somewhat because they're the ones who keep bringing them here, and they know why they're bringing them here. And but you can see that the indigenous, the people from Antigua, actually, they're fed up there.
Mm.
They're actually fed up what's going on, and wanted to do something about it, as we can tell.
From the votes.
From
The way the people came out and voted.
voted. That's right.
And I would say the same thing. I'm very proud of the young people.
Oh yes.
I think J. True got out a lot of the young vote.
Oh yes.
I think the UPP, the campaign team, those who strategized, that was the best
Yeah, it did well.
campaign in opposition that I've seen. But for the
Did very
70s,
well.
1976 election, where the Labour Party actually were in opposition and did win the election that year.
Oh yeah.
And in that year, 76, the PLM actually won the popular vote also.
Yeah. They did.
PLM,
Yep,
PLM
yep.
won the popular. The
Popular
government
vote.
won the popular vote, but they were
Yeah.
able to strategize and get the necessary vote in the necessary constituencies to win.
To win. Yeah,
You
right.
understand?
That's what happened.
But
yeah.
for that election, this was the best election in opposition that I have seen since 76.
Yes, they did well. They did extremely well. They campaigned well the way they did, and I just don't know, boy. I don't know how it worked out like that, but it did. As I
Yeah.
said, the foreigners played a great part in it,
Mhm.
and it was part of their scheme anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
and it worked out that way in their favor. And even though it wasn't all that overwhelming in their favor either,
Yeah.
because you see how close that they came to, and there are other sayings of other things that I really don't even want to, because I didn't get none, so I can't say that.
Mhm.
Money was passed and all that money, and then
Well, what I would say, right,
yeah.
in regard to these flights from Africa, not to get back on that issue, but people are saying that they brought in these people to vote. Maybe not at this election, but I believe the fact that the government is so easy, willing to breach all our laws and so on, in the
Work them
future
out
they
society.
want to bring these people in
That's
and
right.
have them eventually become Antiguans and say, oh, we're the ones that, we're the Labour Party and we're the
That's
ones
right.
that got you
Exactly.
into Antigua and Barbuda from your sorry, pitiful state in Africa.
Yeah, that's
That
it.
is how they think. So
700
that's not
more
for
votes.
that is not for this election. You need 7 years.
That's right. Down
Um,
the road.
Yeah, down the road
Down the
we
road.
will be able to count on these votes because these Africans will think that I was able to make a living here in Antigua and the Labour Party won't accept
the
me.
Labour Party, so this.
And that is why I even believe that the issue, as I started off with this program, saying that, this is how the issue is going then. Where is the next? We had a picket about sometime
Yeah.
week before last, right?
And it just
And I don't
down.
hear anything from the main
Nothing.
opposition.
nothing.
And to me, I believe that they're saying, well, line and not press this issue too much because at the end of the day, we may have to. Neddy, we keep on fighting.
We have to.
We
Yeah.
keep on
For the love
fighting.
of the country, we have to.
For the love of Antigua and Barbuda,
That's
for
right.
the love of, I'm a born Antiguan, and I will
Born.
continue to fight for my beloved Antigua and
Of all the
Barbuda.
years I've been in America, I came home every year.
Mhm.
Every year, Antigua see me. So and then I decided it's back home for me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So you have to know my feeling for this country.
yeah, yeah.
And when I see that it's going down the drain like that, that you have people administrating the daily lives of people who just wishy-washy any old thing, and it doesn't work like that. I've never seen an administration that behave like the way this administration behave.
Yeah.
They behave like they're not accountable to the people. You're accountable. You have to say something to the people who employed you. And arrogantly, they're so arrogant with their ignorance. I don't know where.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But as I said, time longer than over. And in just a
Yeah.
little bit of time, they will understand. And now we have our media going now where the people can get first-hand information.
Mm.
They can get information straight up because we are here to inform the people. And it's up to the people to do something about what they hear.
What's going on?
Of course.
Yeah, listen, we asked for somebody to call in on the program, man. We don't hear nobody calling yet.
Yeah, that's
We want to test out our
oh, yes.
landline.
Yes,
So
yes.
somebody,
Necessary.
anybody, give us a shout so that we
Yeah.
can do a test on our dial-up.
Yeah, to make sure
You
that
know,
everything,
that everything is working. The number is 462-0383. Give us a shout, and just even if you don't want to disguise your voice if you're scared.
Don't give us no name. You just speak on. Just say what you think, my friend.
Yeah, disguise
hear
your
what
voice
we're
if
talking
you're
about?
scared. But we really like to have some callers
We'll be
coming at
glad.
some
We'll
point
be
in
quite
time.
happy to.
We're not having a monologue. We're not having a dialogue. It's really for us and the public. And we were able to last week. We weren't able to get the stream going.
That's right.
The
line.
line in.
The line goes, yeah.
There was no connection. APU came in the week, thankfully, and they were able to sort it all out. So we're here. If anybody feels like calling, 462-0383. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
That's right.
What other issue we said we were going to discuss? What about Social Security?
Yeah,
Eddie?
yeah. We want to discuss that. But that too we didn't say because I'm affected drastically by Social Security.
Yeah.
I've been getting my monies on time and all that, but then when the election date was announced that month, the money was on time prior to the election, but just that month.
Yeah.
This month it was a couple of days down the road.
Mhm.
I hope now that
I'm seeing
It's
they
not
saying it's
going-
like the 31st of the month. I call sometime from my mom, and they're saying it's the 31st of the month. No, they're going to give it to you.
it's supposed to be the last Monday.
But they messed up. It's supposed to be the thing. They're saying it's like they gone ahead of a month now. So it's starting all over. They've already double up now. They lapped themselves. So now it's the 31st of the month. So it's like a month late.
Yeah, you see what I'm well, I just don't know, boys. This and until people seem quite tolerant. Until people are very tolerant, I must say that. Because to go through this time and time, I remembered from the time these people took office, what is it, 2014?
Yeah.
There was no more payments on time there.
It went to hell.
Yes.
They were late and so on, and sometimes and so on. But it just went to hell.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was little late,
Yeah.
little more late, and now it's
Just damn
Oh,
well out
gosh,
of
man.
proportion.
It's crazy. Like the very next Monday coming up, the next check is due, something like that, and you're getting within that week, you're getting everybody for that last check. You're just wondering what the heck is going on with these people. But you see, people have to get vexed there. If you don't get vexed and say something about the situation, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
And people just accept the behavior as if, well, it's nothing. It's how, the guys, that's how they behave. It doesn't work that way, Vere.
I mean, I'm sure they had tons and tons and tons of people who went out and voted for this government.
Absolute.
And you just
Absolutely.
wonder
And they'll be affected by the way
Yeah,
how they
you
do
wonder
things.
what they're really expecting to get, what they really think is going to happen to them, because it's crazy. It's crazy out there. It's
The
crazy out
rumors,
there.
yeah.
I shudder to think about people who are so dependent on that is determining whether they're going to eat tonight,
That's right.
or they're going to be able to go and see a doctor, or they're
Yeah,
going to
that's
be able
something.
to take care of a bill, keep on the electricity,
The child going to school,
school, and
need
so on.
this and all
I'm
that.
just. Is there no government that will address this
No,
issue
man,
once and for
our
all?
administration don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care. And this is the problem with this whole episode. They don't give a damn about what's happening.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It's like you're speaking on deaf ears.
yeah. I fully agree with you, Neddy. It's
They-
it's
they
it's a
need
sad state of events, and this government has not addressed it.
at
I
all.
remember when they were talking in the early days, as government, how they're supposed to have so much money, and
Yeah.
they're brilliant
So
minds,
that's it.
and the investments that they're going to have. I remember even when they had the money, remember they had this president of Ukraine, and he had some money down there, some skulldug, where they held the 50
Yes,
million
yes,
US
I
dollars or
yes,
something
yes,
like
yes,
that,
I
and
remember that.
Ukraine wanted the money and they
Yeah.
never gave up. Why wouldn't you take that money and sort out Social Security and
understand?
say, that's one less problem I have to deal with?
That's
Why
so
didn't you take
true.
that money and pay off Miss Carrad and say, that's one
what-
less, that
that's
the
right.
interest is
You
not
just
piling up.
eliminate
You
the
just
problems
keep
One by one.
piling
No.
it up. So what happened to that money? That money was used to
Splurge.
pay your payroll for a month.
Ah, man.
You know,
God.
you wonder where the mindset is, the common sense is, and it's to me it seems like it's non-existent.
No, another thing here with this Social Security, and I always look at it from this point of view. Where was there? I remember one time during this same administration, then, they got some monies and they were able to pay 2 months money just about on time.
Yeah.
Now what I'm saying here, if you got some monies and you were able to pay those money, what happened to the money that you received? The money that came in from the same Social Security benefit, what happened to that money? Why don't you have that money there? That you should never be late again, Vere. Just if you see what I'm saying, you are able to pay 2 months on time because
Yeah.
you got some money in, which means the money that you receive from the Social Security benefits there supposed to be there.
Yeah.
If you're so concerned.
Right.
And if you have 2 months of Social Security money sitting there, you're supposed to be able to pay out one. At the same time you're paying out one, money comes in, so it's going to be always there.
Yeah.
So why are we late? What happened to that money from that 2 months? Where did it go? Where did you put it? You didn't put it aside and say, look, this is to make sure that we are not late again. We have this money now. We are 2 months ahead of the game and we have this money. Why are we late time and time again when you had that money coming in? You were supposed to have at least one set of monies that came in sitting there
Yeah.
from the two. Because when you pass out to one, you have one still sitting there. Remember, it's 2 months money from money that came, I think it was the CIP.
Yeah.
And you used CIP money for 2 months. What happened to the money you received? What happened to
In the
it?
interim,
That's right.
because you use the CIP money.
So that money is supposed
Yeah,
to be
and
there.
it never catch up. It never
No.
catch up. It never catch up.
How does that? It does not make no sense to me. It never catch up. You're late again right after that. You're just late and late time. And you're supposed to have the 2 months. Remember, it's 2 months. So you're supposed to have 1 month sit there. Money comes in.
Yeah.
Then that goes out. 1 month still sitting there. So you're a month of the game every time. Ahead of the game. They never get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I would like
Hey.
to know what that money did.
Uh,
That 2 months money that came in while you're using the CIP money, what did it do?
Yeah, that should have
Where
been
did it
able to top up the things so that the
Every
people
time. You
think.
just get
you
your
always see
money
gas
on
in them
time.
say, oh, we had to put 15 billion into to Social Security. So money is coming in the
That's
interim, but
right.
they didn't pay out.
That you didn't pay out. So it's there. It's supposed to be there.
Mhm.
So then what happened? Why you gone late again? Where did that money go?
Oh my lord.
Where did it go? What is it?
Ready?
Yeah.
There are more questions than answers.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, I see some people are complaining saying that they didn't hear the link is broken down or
Uh-huh.
they haven't seen us. Some see it on Facebook and fine, some seeing it on YouTube, which I believe is the main problem. Yeah, just bear with us.
Yeah, in a little bit we'll have it all.
It's a process of trial and error. You never know how it's going to function. You work one way, fine when you're off here, and then when you go live, it's another story. So just
second
bear with
episode,
us.
that's right.
Last week we had issues with the volume. We've been able to compensate that, turn up the volume now. We had issue with the streaming last week also. I thought we had it sorted out. That seems to have cropped up its head again. But just bear with us. Don't get frustrated. We're in this for the long haul, and whatever technical issues we have here, we'll have them sorted out. You understand?
Right. We'll have it sorted out.
We're still waiting on somebody to call in the program. I don't know if this here, maybe Mr. Brown can call in. Or Melford, and one of these idiots that come with the whole policy. I still don't understand how they got a plane in from Africa and there were no contacts with the government of Africa. They have an ambassador to the African Union. He never sat with any Nigeria, Cameroon, or any government to let them know what the policy was.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a joke.
I remember as a little boy, I'm 51 years old, I remember as a little boy going to Sunnyside Tutorial School in about 77. The jumbo jet was coming to Coolidge Airport, the jumbo 747.
That's right.
And I remember we had these beach bars, we have these rulers, we had all these other things that they gave us at school. And it was a half day at school. And we left at half day, everybody to go up to not the BC, but the Coolidge Airport.
That's right.
All the kids and all the dignitaries were there. The jumbo jet, boy, biggest plane I ever seen, I like land down in Antigua. And off comes Papa Bird with 300 tourists behind him.
All right.
You know, and they say this man Gaston is such a great leader. He's rivaling Papa Bird for greatness.
Please, yeah.
How he couldn't set it up government to government? How he couldn't set up a government to government to him to travel to Nigeria and come back down with a plane with all these wealthy tourists?
That's right.
You understand? Because nothing like that existed.
No,
my opinion is that all these so-called tourists is what they paid for, and the government received money to let them become Antiguans, let them work in Antigua and Barbuda, let them eventually become citizens of Antigua and Barbuda. Because everything just gone cold. Everything just like this is a normal process. The laws of Antigua and Barbuda are being broken.
So then, I mean, if they can do that, why a neighboring island? How come?
Yeah, if a neighboring island want to come in and say they find work when they're here and don't have to apply when they're outside, how can there be one law
for these people
and another law for another set of people?
It doesn't make sense.
You see the breakdown in the rule of law of Antigua and Barbuda.
It's a problem. It's a severe problem because it can only get worse if nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
So something needs to be done. Yeah.
Something needs to be done. Will it be done with this administration?
Well,
I don't see that happening. I don't see that these leaders we have now, Gaston Brown or the other set of monkeys that are forming the ABLT team, they have no love for their country. They are inadequate, incompetent, incapable of leading a country in the 21st century. The mere fact that all you brilliant set of bottoms sat down and go come with here Antigua, coming to Antigua, but no Antiguans sit on the board of directors. All Nigerians. And you found that normal.
Oh, yeah.
You have no love for your country.
Yeah, you don't care.
The mere fact that Max Fernandez up there at the airport at Harbour, you welcome it. The mere fact that Antiguans actually went and got water cannon and playing the refugees. It shows you what the level of stupidity that we have in Antigua and Barbuda for leaders. It is a grave problem, Antigua and Barbuda. It is a grave problem. It's a sad situation. And, you know, we can talk, but are people listening? And that's the way we started this broadcast, you know. Because my fear right now, the two major parties in Antigua and the ABLP is turning a blind eye to this issue. And my fear is that the UPP, because they realize that they are going to make these people Antiguan and Barbudan citizens. Are you going to stand up for the rule of law? Or are the UPP going to stand up for, let us see them in, not the next election, but the next election after that, so we can get a couple votes? I will stand for this party, our organization, True Labour Party, will stand for the rule of law.
The rule of law.
That is what we signed on to. That is our contract with the government. That is what the Constitution
If
is
you
about.
don't-
There are rules to govern us. The government is breaching the way. Give an example, the Mega Man funeral, the laws and environment, Barnacle Point and for Yida, when they said all these
The double
mangroves are to
standard.
be protected, and
Double standard.
the environment and ecology
yes.
and this and all the we call them something the bush and them call them the mangoes are to be
Mangroves.
protected, whether it's
Yes.
white, black, brown, or we don't even know. And then you see the man that just tear it up and the government have nothing to say.
No.
Me hear Diane Blackland say she couldn't get a drone a couple of years ago for scout the area, and then she's just a government worker, as you say, working at 8 to 4. She now put she neck out on the line. She
No.
basically said this is wrong, but who is going to enforce it?
That's it. That's
It's
it.
the people have to enforce
It
it by
ends
getting
right
proper
there.
people elected that will say
Thank you.
we have laws
Not
on the book.
That we're not tolerating.
You're not
that
getting
in
that from
place.
what we have here in Antigua Barbuda. So
That's right.
what next? Where are we going to from here? It is a sad,
Extremely sad, yeah.
pathetic
Extremely sad in the
situation
direction that we're going.
that is happening in here in Antigua and
yeah,
Barbuda.
that
I-
direction isn't nice at all. Yeah.
I do hope at some point in time people are not hearing what we're saying, but they will be listening to the message that we're putting out. And I do remember 2014 when we ran for the first time, Nedwell,
Yeah.
through Labour Party, and we're telling you, Antiguans and Barbadians are going to be displaced in their own country. We are going to be
did say that.
marginalized. We're going to be like crabs in a barrel in
And
the
we're
center
seeing
of
it.
this country. All the beachfront property, all the nice
We're
beaches,
seeing
all,
it right
all
now.
the lush, beautiful, postcards,
Oh,
sunset
yes.
on the
Oh,
white
that
sand
good.
beach and the pink beaches.
The goodies.
Those are not ours. Those are not the black people who fought
No.
for independence.
No, not
They don't
ours
have
any-
those.
No, no,
You understand?
Not ours
The day
anymore.
will come when we will have to pay somebody to go to a beach. The day will come when Antillans are going to have pools added on to their houses because they can't get to a beach. And we said
Can
that
you
2014.
Can you imagine?
2014
It
we
gets to
said that.
this. And we informed the people. We
Yeah.
told the people that
Yeah.
this was going to be,
The
part of
reality.
it. Yeah.
The reality. And
And
that
then
is
they
just
still let
just
it happen.
just just
They
on,
still let it happen.
just on the 10 years.
You know,
Just
for
on the
real.
10 years now.
Mhm.
Next year we make 10 years. Our message, our campaign was that you
Yeah.
have to, as an elector, not just hear what people are saying, but to listen and to look around you. Look
Assess
around the people of
what
St.
you're
John's
hearing.
Road, so look around your community
Yeah,
and see
is
what
that what I'm
improvements have
hearing?
been made on the Winston Williams and Eustace Teagan and
Nothing.
Darren Matthew.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Why would you get out of bed? I will comment on the last election by saying we were hammering them as in New York and I was hammering them on Facebook and TikTok and so on. And there's one girl that saying, oh, she is from rural South, and she said, oh, I wasn't going to vote before, but I have to go out and vote for ABLP because you know that UPP can't run the country. And I'm saying, so this is what you consider running a country? Huh?
Look.
1,000 refugees coming in from Africa on a plane. You consider that a country that is well run?
That's what you.
I told the young lady, look around St. John's Rural South. You don't have, when you go to vote in St. John's Rural South, besides Golden Grove Primary School, the government hasn't even provided places for people in St. John's Rural South to go to vote. You go
Sure.
to,
We recognize that
you go to
2018.
you go to Otters Comprehensive to vote. You know over there that's in City South.
That's right.
You go down to PDO or you go down to Health Center. That is in City South. So when you go to vote, you don't even have a place to vote in your area. You understand? There's no health center in your area.
That's sick,
There's
man.
no community center in your constituency. There's
people-
not one structure that has been put up by this government
And people
or the
tolerate
previous
it.
government
People tolerate that.
to alleviate people in St. John's. It's the most neglected, forgotten constituency in St. John's and Antigua and Barbuda. I told the people, when you're on the western side of Lower Otters, you go down into Golden to Grace Farm for the
That's
community
right.
center
That's
and the
right.
health center. When you're on the eastern side, you go up to Browns Avenue.
Right.
That's in St. Mary's North.
Right.
When you're in the center now, in the Otters, the middle Otters now, you go up to City South for Mount
convention.
St. John's or
Okay.
Celeste Bird
Oh,
Hospital.
okay.
And you know what I think of? And even when you're playing your steel pan, Ebonites, and you want to play, the barnyard is not in Rural South.
That's so
You
true.
have to go right there by the Bend Down, just to
right
east
there,
of Bend Down.
right by
And that is
PDO.
where you go and practice, because you don't have anything in there that the government hasn't see fit for you to have any government buildings, government services provided in
No,
that
no, they don't
consistency.
care, they don't
I
care.
told this to the young lady.
Mm.
She had nothing else to say.
No, no.
But my gut feeling, I can
No, she not gonna say
bet
nothing else.
that she went down there and voted
ABL.
for ABLP. You understand? So that is the sad reality. Yes, Auntie and Bobby, I know we have some glitches. I know that the streaming went off once or twice. We're reducing it. It was 3 times last week, so it's only twice this week. So just bear with us. We will be coming again. We will be bringing forward our message. We are on a message, on a mission,
That's
because although those other we are part of the opposition, but everybody do their own thing, and this
That's
is
so
our
true.
way that we are going to
Get our message out.
speak truth to power, and let people know that there is not only the UPP, there is a true Labour Party out there.
Absolute, yeah.
Yeah, we've been dormant, as we said last week, for a reason, that we could not get on the main media.
That's right.
So we had to go and take the last 4 or 5 years to create from
Set up
scratch,
ourselves.
from scratch up
That's right.
our own media.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how we're going to do this message. We're going to get our message out. We're going to grow our organization, because I believe even more than 2014, Antigua, after the last 10 years, are displaced. They're confused because they have nobody in government that is really batting for them.
Not at all.
They're batting for the Chinese.
That's right.
They're batting for the wealthy CIP citizens.
That's right. But none for the anti.
They're batting now for Africans who aren't bringing anything to Antigua and Barbuda that we know of. But they're batting for them.
That's right.
And we don't know what that situation is all about. But we're supposed to really go for 2 hours here, but we have a matter that we have to attend to, so we're going to close down shortly.
Very great.
Neddy, if you have anything to say, you let us
Well,
close off on
Yes,
you, and then
I
I'll say
do have
something.
something to say. It's very important that these people take what we're doing to heart, because we are serious with what we're doing. We need to get the message out. We're on a mission to save Antigua. And we hope that you're on that same mission, because you live here and you should want to see Antigua on a level that, we can appreciate. So please, when we come here and week after week, it's not for just...
Poppy show always
No,
I
it's
want for the
nothing
cute
like
and,
that.
"Hi, look, look," like when
Yeah,
Gaston and in the parliament.
Please.
Sissy,
So-
yeah, kind of sissy. Hey, people look upon that as some great leader. Is it we keep imagine Pat Brennan. Hey, Cutie, what happened to Cutie? Cutie walk stiff, like he had hemorrhoids or something like that.
Maybe he does. He does. So until we meet again, but I hope that you stay focused and you appreciate what we're doing, because all we're doing is on a mission to save Antigua, and we're trying to get the message out to you so you can be on the same mission.
Yes. Well, my closing message is that Antigua and Barbuda, we are here for the long haul. We're not pleased by the way our country is governed. Antigua and Barbuda deserves better leadership. I believe that Antigua should be on a higher level. Because we purchased our lands from the syndicates in '67. We were land rich, and we ought to be in a different position than we are in today.
Very much.
That has not happened because of greed. They put greedy people into office. You voted in corrupt people into office. And that is why this country is not progressing, it is regressing. I would say to Antigua and Barbuda that we believe that we will be able to govern this country better than what is there presently, or what may come into office.
That's right.
Because they are tainted with a lot of stupidity and foolish policies, and they've done a lot of dumb things to this country. We're not going to get into them all now, but the main one we want to focus in: what government goes and starts airways from Africa without any checks on who is coming into their borders?
Nothing.
It could be Al Qaeda, it could be Boko Haram, and even if it is not terrorists, they could be state-sponsored actors. They say there's some civil war going on in Cameroon. Who is to say that these people aren't government mercenaries
That's
and
true.
hitmen and
That's
people
true.
who are taking out civilians?
And decide to
They're probably losing the war now and they decide to flee.
get out.
They state sponsors. You ought to have gone and get to the police commissioner
That's right.
over there, to the government,
And know
and to
exactly
give them a
what it
list
is.
of the names of the people who came to Antigua and to find out what is happening, who these people are. But you just don't know. And God forbid, one of these people are what we said.
Oh,
God forbid. Because it's not only what you will have to face from the Antigua and Barbuda people. Because you're not protecting them. You're
that's right.
open our
Yeah,
borders.
yeah.
What the Americans and the
Really.
Europeans in part of the United Kingdom will do to us getting access into their ports.
It's
If you
one
go
of
ahead
them
with this
are bound to be.
foolish, to me they started off wrong
Mhm.
and they're continuing down the
Oh,
same
yeah,
path.
not listening.
And that is the big problem.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have to go now. As we said, we apologize to the glitches. Work with us and we work for you. But next time around, we hopefully will get them
We have
sorted.
it all cleared up.
So stay safe. And until next week, Saturday at 2 o'clock, we'll try to be on time and
Yeah.
do a full 2 hours. And please, somebody call in because we want to see, we take our time to try to make it not a monologue or dialogue, but we want to have some discourse with the public.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
hopefully
the
next week we
opinion.
can have some dialogue
Very
with the
much
public,
so,
you know.
very much so.
Antigua and Barbuda, stay safe and goodbye for now.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Saw a stone just a come to mash down